record on this computer. Okay. And I'm going to share my screen so that you can see just the notes that I've kind of taken. So, Meg and I met at the coffee shop, like, when was that, Meg? I don't even freaking know.
I don't know.
Was it
Over a month
January?
ago. It was before 80 Day, wasn't it?
I think it was. No?
I think it was.
No, we were, because I was with Dominique. We were all drinking our shit or eating our shit or whatever. Remember you had gone out to lunch with your aunts and you're like, oh, it was easier than I thought.
Oh yeah. Wow, you got a good memory.
I'm a weirdo. I know. All right. So it must have been January. And we were, we were just talking about like this craziness that we had just come off of, like with December being so ridiculously successful, 76 Success Club points for myself. What did you have, Meg? Like 36?
Yeah.
Success Club points. And so we're like, let's just chat for like a second about like what was actually working for us. So we brainstormed a bunch of the things that were working for us. And we were like, okay, so part of the disconnect is that we need to like not just do these things and know that they work for us, but we need to like prepare our teams and like pass this information on. Like we have to be rivers. We can't be reservoirs. And I realized that back in like 2014, I did a much, much better job of constantly being in the team page and sharing what I was doing and sharing that what my goals were and sharing how to rank advance and sharing about all of those little details constantly. And I don't know when that changed or why that changed, but like I used to be in there all the time. And so one of my actions to steps that I actually want to do is I want to go back through the page from like 2014 and 2015 and just like take a peek at some of the things that I was posting and doing that were working really well. I haven't really done that yet, but it's on my list of things to do. But just like while we were brainstorming, we weren't just brainstorming things that like worked well for us like in December. We were like thinking in terms of like things that are just have worked well for us in the past that maybe we've forgotten about, and things like that. So I created this document. Some of it, like we discussed a thing and at the coffee shop and Meg had written down and then I added to it. So I put this together and what I figured is I will share it with you guys so that, and maybe it is easier to actually create a group for this and do all of our talking through like Messenger or just do that. It doesn't even matter to me whether you think a group or a message thread is better or easier. But I could put a group together just so we can add this in the file section so that everybody can take a peek at it and like add to it or, whatever, like things that we might be missing. But one of the biggest things is that I know that like everybody, for instance, wants to go elite this year, or at least all the people who are on this particular call right now have elite goals. And that means that you need to be a 5-star. And that means that you need to be making Success Club 10 plus each week, each month. And it means that you, have to help your coaches start making Success Club. And in order to do that, we need to create more of like a Success Club atmosphere with our team. And I feel like that's something that we used to do really well and something that like all of a sudden people just are like, yeah, I made it or I didn't make it or whatever. It doesn't seem like as important to them anymore. And I think that the reason it doesn't seem that important to them anymore is because we haven't made it a priority of like constantly being in there, creating that atmosphere of like, this is why we're doing this, right? And that's how like Chris ran his team and that's how we started running our team. And somewhere along the line, it got lost. So here are some of the ideas. First of all, I think that what you focus on grows, right? Like, so if you are focusing on celebrating people and you're focusing on celebrating them for being in Success Club or having crazy like recruiting numbers, that's what they're going to aim to do, right? It's just like Katie wanting to get on that board for like top 50 in the Northeast. She did it because she kept seeing that and she's like, fuck that, I want on it. It's the same effect. It has that effect on everybody. Just like, focusing on paying off credit card debt. Like over the last month, I've paid down like $5,000 worth of credit card debt. Everybody keeps telling me how expensive this program is. And I'm like, really? I've saved so much money from like not going out and doing stuff that like I've just paid off like all my debt, So like what you focus on grows. So we need to focus more on these things. So recognition, that piece being a major focus. You guys will notice that we didn't put the leaderboards up this week, and that's because Ryan went to go do it. and Beachbody has completely fucked everything up right now. Within they put just an initial for the last name of everybody in your downline when you run a report. So so it's like
past 3 levels down.
Past 3 levels down. So it's like, okay, so I've got 5 Amy's on my team that have the last name starting with like B. Like how do I, so like Beachbody's trying to fix it currently. They took something that they did and brought it a little too far, which was the new rule around the do not contacts. Instead of like giving you their full name like they used to, they're just going to put their last initial there. And they were like, well, we'll just do that for everybody past like 3 levels down, because there's no reason why they need to contact people 3 levels down. That would mean that I wouldn't even have your information, Mariah. Like, that's just stupid. So they're fixing it. At least Gail fan said they're fixing it. I haven't seen anything fixed yet. So anyway, recognition, number 4, vital behavior, but we're not going to give you the tools to do it. So anyway, all right, instead of me kvetching. So recognition. I think, monthly call, like anybody who signs up for the team call, we need to have them going in, pulling those SD numbers before they jump on, making sure that they're perusing the team page. Literally, it's super easy. You can just look on a Thursday and say, okay, did anybody post a picture of somebody like promoting in rank? And so we always used to do that, and we got away from doing it. So we need to start doing that again. The other thing is even if we're having like a guest speaker, the guest speaker can hold on for 2 minutes while we go through like who is on the boards and who has, rank advance, because I know that when I was a brand new coach, like that was like important to me that my name was read off. Monthly team call about hitting Success Club. So I think as leaders, each one of us needs to just sign up for 1 call a month. That's about that. So like, I'm not saying like we have to do all 4 calls in a month about it, but I'm saying, we can look at the calendar right now and we can say, okay, there needs to be at least 1 call each month about attracting builders and challengers and making Success Club and how you do that. And so every single person in here makes Success Club consistently. So every single one of you knows how to make Success Club. So there's no reason why anybody shouldn't sign up for that call. So just go ahead and, so if you see Shannon signed up for like March, somebody go sign up for April, somebody go sign up for June, somebody go sign up for July. And then we've got that covered and we know that in advance, that we have that at least talked about at least once a month on our calls. Then a weekly live video in the team page. And what I'm talking about there is, you guys remember when we used to have it so that like when somebody went into Success Club, they just went live on the team page and they're like, I just made Success Club. This is what I did. And here's who I signed. And it could be like, oh, I had been talking to this person for 2 years, or I just reached out to them today, or like whatever it was. And it doesn't even, I feel like people stopped doing it because they felt like it was like repetitive, but that's the point, right? That's the point. It's showing them like every time that, oh my God, that person just did the same thing that somebody else did. Oh, that person just did the same thing that somebody else. They're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. And eventually it's going to be said enough that somebody's like, oh, I just need to do this. Like it'll freaking hit at some point, right? So we need to start doing that again. All right. Also, I think that it would be really cool if we created like infographics. So kind of like when we did the Find, Share, Invite call or group, and like randomly we would throw up just like an image that had like info on it, like whatever it might be about follow-ups, or maybe it was like special tools to use in Instagram, or like those were kind of what those were. But for this, I feel like it needs to be like numbers and stats and like things like that like making Success Club does for you. And it's okay if we repeat them and post them every once in a while, because the page flows, right? People aren't like digging way back. So I think if we can come up with reasons as to why you make Success Club, and, even looking at our, even looking at our monthly income or like whatever, like seeing a difference in like when you started making Success Club consistently compared to like when you weren't, and like what the numbers looked like then. Or, I know there's that stat that those who make Success Club 5 consistently earn a 6-figure income within 5 years of this business. And those who make SE 10 or above consistently do it much quicker. That's something that motivated the crap out of me when I was a brand new coach, looking and seeing that I could make a 6-figure income that quickly. What else? So infographics like that we can randomly share in the team page, or even just like randomly sharing numbers and stats of our own. And then rewards for Success Club. So Also, Chris's video, never, ever, ever, ever end on 4. Like, he used to drill that into our fucking heads. You never end a month on Success Club 4. Ever, ever. You call a fucking neighbor, you sign up your dog, like you do whatever the fuck you need to do, but you get it done. And like, for some reason, again, we have not been saying that to people. And so we need to drive that home. So I think sharing his video and creating our own. So like, you know, like, so it's constantly just drilled into their heads. A montage video at the end of the month. I know even like Dominique was at the table sitting with us when we were talking about this, and she was like, I used to love seeing my face on that. And I was like, it's so true. Like, I was always like, yeah, I'm going to be at the end because I had the most fucking points, like whatever, you know? So like, it's true. People liked it. It was so cheesy and so dumb, but they loved it. So video at the end of the month. So we're going to try to do that. Ryan, I'm putting in charge of doing that. Basically, he will just take all the people who are in Success Club, throw them in the thing, and we'll throw some music on it. Of course, it's going to have to be cheesy music because otherwise Facebook bans us forever and they're stupid, but like whatever. So there's that. Or I guess we could just put it on YouTube and then we can add the link, but then it shows up as a preview. So we could do it that way too, and then we can actually have music. But I think YouTube actually kicks you off too for music. So we'll have to look into that. Leaderboards, you notice, Ryan, I just told you why they're not up, but we're going to continue doing those because, again, I've already seen people in the team page going, hey, wait, how do I get on that board? Like, what does that number mean? That's good stuff right there. Coach of the month and top leaders, recruiters. And so I think that we need to do, like, you know, top recruiters weekly, babe. That's a new board that we need to do. So we'll do on Thursdays, we'll do the top recruiter. And on Fridays, we'll do the 2 other boards, the Success Club board and the volume board. So top recruiter, because top recruiter and top Success Club members could be different. People could be signing people as customers. People could be signing people as coaches. When you're recruiting actual coaches, that's how you get top recruiter. So we'll do top recruiter of the entire month. And that like, and so top recruiter of the week, Ryan will do like a little thing for, but top recruiter of the month, we can start changing our cover photo of our team page. Put their face right freaking up there with top recruiter next to it. And then also when I said top leader of the month, that could be like Success Club. So if they're 2 different people, you can do that. If it's the same person, we'll just do 1. So those are a few things that I'm thinking of. All right. So, and then like how to incentivize people, build camaraderie, and keep things fun. So part of this whole business is like making it fun, making it like everybody wants to be checking in daily to see what's happening and that sort of thing. And I think you can kind of see that starting to play out within like the challenge group that we have going. So I think that games, first of all, are fun. So whatever you guys can think of or brainstorm of, like think of other things besides what's right here and add it to this list, go for it. First into club gets a prize. So I thought that that was fun. Like whoever's the first person in Success Club can win something. So that's also incentive for them to put their freaking name on the stupid freaking file, which I can't get freaking organized in the way it's supposed to be because Facebook again is being stupid. Like why can't I organize those the way I want to? Have you guys seen that? It's got like documents from like 2014 at the frigging top and I have to search all over for like, where do I update my Success Club points?
The only hack that somebody said in the boards they were talking about is that they put a file. In that file, they take all of them out and they put a link. And that's the only way to get around it, to actually organize them in the...
I can't handle that. That will kill my life.
I know.
I can't do that. That's way too much work. So yeah. So it'll get them to go ahead and update it. And it'll get them to go ahead and shout out their live video of I made Success Club. And as soon as the first person does that, they win a prize. Bingo's always fun. We can change it up. Bingo can be in so many different ways. It doesn't have to be the same boring board that we always use. And it can like celebrate things like, I think like making them themed, like maybe a bingo board that's all about Insta stories and like building up a storyline invite on there with like a poll using like the different things, like having them use like different features in Instagram, right? Or like having them post 3 times a day to Instagram, put up 12 stories and have, 5 posts to like Facebook in 1 week or whatever, like getting them to do other actions other than just like I sold a challenge pack. Because that stuff will come with it, right? So like doing bingo and games and things like that to make them actually just like have fun doing the actual daily dues of the business and not so much just like the rewards for like making Success Club or signing a coach. So I think that's one thing as well. Mug Club, this was Meg's idea. I think it's brilliant. You can just choose a mug from like Etsy and like that's the mug that month. So literally our top thing could be recruiter of the month, like top leader recruiter of the month. And then over here, it could be mug club, right? So like the mug club could show the mug that you get. And then like whoever makes Success Club that month earns that mug. Top earner for Success Club. I feel like, the leaders could all go in and get like a $50 gift card to like Lorna Jane or Lululemon or something like that. So whoever earns the most Success Club points out of anybody can get that. We could play Beat Joan to Success Club. That's kind of a fun game. Like if you get into Success Club, whoever gets in Success Club before me might get a prize. That's fun. All right. So those are kind of my ideas in terms of like, let's boost recognition. Let's boost the Success Club and like, Success Club and recruiting kind of atmosphere. And let's really, really like make it more fun and incentivize them to do so. And then the rest of the things. So things that worked, like lately, guys, people are loving those stupid 15-minute power hours. They love it. It's like I tell them exactly what to do. They go and do it. They've cranked out more work in those 15 minutes than they've done all freaking week in 15 minutes. So I think that calling them live power 15s or whatever is better than like an action-oriented 15 minutes than like your traditional power hour of like, okay, I'm going to friend people. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to whatever. Like we literally just kind of, like I said, with the bingo board, like with the bingo board, we're kind of getting them to do like those daily behaviors and make it more fun. But with this, it's like, okay, you've got 15 minutes. Like now you're going to send voicemails out to everybody. You've got 15 minutes. You're going to send donuts. You've got 15 minutes. You're going to do donut follow-ups. You've got 15 minutes. Okay. I want you to go through Teamsy and follow up with everybody in Teamsy. Okay. You've got 15 minutes. I want you to go write down everybody who liked your post and do that. So again, it's like keeping things fun, but teaching them how to work their business in the first place. Also, I haven't done this in a while, but that poll that I did a while back, that was like the income goal, like the income poll. Asking people, what was your first paycheck? How much are you making a week now? Like, what was your biggest paycheck? Like, what was your biggest month? And then within that, having them share the other things that they're doing is going to help those newbies recognize themselves in you. It's also going to help them see, like, if they've only made a check for like $60 so far, that's okay. That's where you started too. And then also it gives everybody social media fodder, because you can go and you can turn those into part-time coach stories on your team and how this person's rocking it, this person's successful, this person's made $4,000 this month, and they are also a full-time XYZ, and they're a mom of XYZ, and they like blah, 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 and they were just able to whatever. So I gave a little example there, but I think that that's good too. Sneak peeks clearly work. I think we need to freshen them up a little bit, maybe even revamp them slightly. I want to keep them, I kind of feel like I want to make them a little bit shorter blips and like, I don't know, we can all go through there and maybe take our own spin on it and look at them and give our own feedback of what we think that we could tweak or change or how we could make them better, and then come together and put that together. I think we need to do them 2 times a month. We've been slacking. We haven't been doing them. By doing so, it gives our coaches, our new coaches, somewhere to invite to. It gives them a path of how to promote something with urgency. And then I think by having them commit to having a certain amount of people in the group, doing like a little live thing with them where you get on and you're helping them invite to the sneak peek. You're giving them some text to invite people to the sneak peek, having them reach out to their challengers, and basically giving them all of those instructions. Because the more people we get in the sneak peeks, guys, the more people we sign on this team. It's just hands down every single time what happens. So that's kind of like the accidental coach training thing too, where it's like you're signing somebody up and you're like, hey, I know we haven't talked about coaching yet, but I signed you up for the discount, yada, yada, yada. But if you want to put a post up on social media and somebody wants to join you in the group, you can not only earn your money back, but have some friends in the group with you to make it even more fun. So helping people to use that line, helping people with their first post, and then getting them in a group immediately to teach them how to make emeralds, and literally like sharing with them how to make emerald the fastest and quickest way possible. Because I think some of us shy away from being like, sign your freaking sister and your mom, like boom, you're emerald. It's a choice. Now move on and sign other people. Like, I think we hold back from that sometimes because we feel like, oh, this person just invested money into this program, and now I'm telling them to invest more money before they're going to make money. But if it's somebody who's truly into working the business, having somebody at the very top of both sides of their business is the smartest thing they can do anyway. So we're really still just helping them. So tweaking that thought process to that. Really talking a lot more in the team page too about U+2, sharing that video, sharing it in our Coach Basics. I think the team-wide challenge groups have been working really well. Running them together like a test group instead of like a drink your water today kind of group, feeling out what they need, responding to how they're, feeling or what the common thread is. That's working really well, but I think we all need to do it, especially now that you're kind of all in the group. Like, you all know what's going on. The first couple weeks, I understand, was the first time you were dealing with it, but we're all veterans now. So jump in and do that when you can. Setting dates for new groups too. Again, that's going to build the urgency around them. And then part of the Snoop group stuff, guys, that stuff worked like gangbusters too. And it was like the VIP incentive of like sign up today, sharing those people who had, already signed up, saying there's only a certain amount of spots left, doing so on your social media as well. All of these things right here are just like crazy good. We all know that Find Share Invites worked a lot for us in the past. Coach Basics we need to do more of. Meg and I just did Coach Basics that was called Put Me in Coach. And we literally just knew what we wanted to talk about. So we assigned each other every other day, and we put like a template, like meaning this is the topic you've got that day. This is the assignment. But we didn't really fill out anything else other than that. And so then when we would go in that day, that's when we would make our post. But now we have a template because we did that. And the posts are really good. And I think the group worked really well. I do think we need to add a little bit to the end of it, like maybe run a coach sneak peek for them, help them with inviting for that, and that sort of thing. And maybe talk a little bit more about U+2 rule and going emerald within that group. But those are like the only things I think that we need to kind of like add to that. And then I think what we need to do is we need to create a level up group or a diamond dash group. So I kind of like the wording of level up better because it doesn't leave out those people who are just in that emerald group who maybe didn't hit emerald yet, but like are close, or like they're getting it, or like they're starting to sign people or whatever it might be. So like you can move them over there too, and they don't feel like, oh, but this is for, people who are going diamond and I don't have my second person yet. But they've learned the stuff. They're just moving. So those are the things that I wrote down. So what I would love is for you guys to come in here and add to it. Add any other ideas that you have, etc. And then once we have like a complete list of like things that we think that we can do or improve upon or whatever, then I think from there it's more about scheduling it out. The other thing I wanted to share with you, let me share. I don't know if I can share this screen too. Hold on. So what was kind of cool, and I think that we could do something similar for our level up group. Can you guys see the image that I just brought up, or do you just see Evernote still?
Just Evernote.
Okay, hold on. Now, do you see it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see like in their level up group, like they literally just assigned a leader to each day, and then this can be your cover photo, and it'll tell them exactly what they can expect for training on each day. And I love that, and that's something Ryan can just like create for us. So with that said, I also think that we need to make a template that is what we think that we need to do for a level up. And I know that this is just like a week-long thing right here, but I think that in terms of a Diamond Dash group, it has to be at least 3 weeks. So I think what I'll do is I'll open up a group. I'm going to put this in the files section. I'll put this level up image in the files section too. And then I'll put a document in there that's named Diamond Dash. And so for the Diamond Dash group, I want everybody to go in there, or the level up group, or whatever the hell we want to call it. I want you to go in there, and I want you to add what you think are your most important things that we need to add. Try not to look at somebody else's answers. Just go in there and answer on your own. And then if there's repeat crap in there, I don't care. Like, I'll clean that out. But like, I don't want you to get caught up in, somebody said this, so I don't want to repeat it. I'd rather you just brain dump. Anything else while I'm on here? Any questions from you guys?
All looks good.
I mean, for me, one of my biggest things this year is that I think that like 80-day obsession does such a good job of changing somebody's mind about themselves, about nutrition, about what they can and cannot do, and then therefore like opens their mind to like, yeah, I could do this coaching thing. And I feel like that's a lot like the way Insanity worked, and it's not the way 21 Day Fix worked. So I think we're sitting on something that's huge. And so if we can run these groups together in a way that's getting people the best results and the best experience possible, and then we're reaching out to them weekly, because I reach out to each individual person in that challenge group once a week just to check in with them and see how they're doing, even though I have 100 people in there. And so from there, those that are in there and they're showing up constantly, I'm like, are you ready yet? Like, are you ready to jump in yet? Like, are you sure you don't want to coach? And, signed a bunch of coaches out of the sneak peek. So I think we need to run another sneak peek too, so that we can invite those people that are in the challenge group to the sneak peek.
So are we thinking a level up group each month, a put me in coach group each month, or would two leaders like team up for that, or would we do it like together now? Like what? Yeah. But just like keep an eye on like your coaches. I think that was like the biggest thing, was like we were constantly in there all the time, like making sure like our coaches in there were doing the things.
Yeah.
So
yes and no. I would tag my people, and if they posted in there, I'd respond to it. But I wasn't in there reminding my people to get on calls and stuff.
No, I wasn't either.
And I think the reason I don't is because like I don't want them to feel like that's my job for the rest of their life. Like, they know when the calls are, they can jump on. And if they don't, it tells me who really wants it and who really doesn't. It wasn't shocking to me each time the 3 people out of like the 7 or 10 or whatever that I had in there that jumped on the call each week.
Yeah. But like we were in there responding to their comments and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest thing. Like in the past, I know I was guilty of it. Like we would start a group and then I wouldn't be invested in it. So then I was like losing where they were at.
Yeah.
So I think that was my biggest takeaway from this, is like I'm in it every day, just like looking to see if I can answer questions or like love on them or whatever.
Yeah. And making it so that only admins can post, but they can post in the comments, makes it so you're not searching through freaking hell to find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we've got 3 other people that will be doing this with us. So I mean, how many does that make us? 7 people total. Don't laugh at me, Mariah. Can't do math on a Sunday.
8, I think. 1, 2.
There's 5 plus 3 is 8.
8.
Okay,
Yeah.
8. Perfect. So, okay. So, sneak peek revamp. So that's part of your assignment. I want you to go look at that. Tell me what you think that we can clean up, clear up, what you think is great that should stay the same, whatever. Feedback on that. Next thing, level up. There'll be a file in the group. Go in there, brain dump on everything that you think is the most important thing for them to know during that level up 3-week program so that they can get to diamond. I will go ahead and I'll share the template that Meg and I created for Put Me in Coach. And you guys can honestly go check it out. You can throw something in the comment section too there if you want to, about what you would add or change. I was almost thinking about making a quickie 5-day group to put people in before the Put Me in Coach group that literally was here is what rank is. Here is what Emerald means. Here is what Success Club means. Here's the quickest way to get to Emerald. Here's the U+2 rule. Here's how you use share a cart. Okay, got all that? Next. And then you move on to this group. Did we talk enough about that in that group, Meg? Or do you
all that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah. I think we could just grab things from that group and because really the second week was Or like the following up and like power hour. So I think the first half of the week you could essentially do kind of like that.
Okay. And then the ideas that I just had, I'll put there in like the ideas files, and you guys can just comment and add whatever stuff that you want in there to that. So I think we'll start there, and then from there, so then I'm not going to concentrate on any of this. Like I'll have you guys do all that, but then we're not going to talk about it until after Wednesday because I want to help my coaches get into Success Club. So I think maybe Thursday we could touch base or Friday, but Thursday touch base with everything now that once it's commented on and stuff, and maybe just work together to set up a plan like moving forward, a schedule or whatever of how we're going to like make this happen.
Yeah, if we can make up a calendar for the month and then share it with our coaches so they can add people. And
yeah, like a calendar of here's when basic starts, here's when level up starts, here's when the Snoop group is going to be, here's when the sneak peek is going to be. And I do think that we should be doing Snoop groups too still, but I think we can revamp them in a way where it's like literally like you can almost like go into like you could do like a Zoom video and pre-record it, right? And go into like the 80-day obsession group and show them like a little bit of like what's happening in there. Then you could like, we can put together like a couple other videos that go with it. And I was even thinking for like the launch party group, there's so many friggin' people in there now. And it's very like Christmas centric because that's what was happening then. So, and like the video for there's like videos about nutrition and stuff like that could be probably shortened and cleaned up, and videos about like the loops and sliders and stuff that could be shortened. So I almost want to like quickly redo like those videos, except for of course like the one that's on YouTube. I have people coming to me that I have never spoken to before who found that video of mine on YouTube who are now signing up with me to be in my challenge group. So that's pretty rad. But yeah, launch party, like turning that into more of like info group, and then like cleaning up a Snoop group and making that a template too. So those are things that I also want to do. A lot of things that I want to do. You just saw it all. I just brain dumped on you. So let it sink in. Let it soak in. Go do what I just told you, and then let's figure out the best plan moving forward.
sounds good.
I honestly feel like if we nail this down and if we all do this together, like Melanie Mitra, for instance, does not do team calls anymore. Like her whole team does the calls, and like they switch off. They all round off. So like every leader on her team like takes a turn, and that's what they do. They run all their challenge groups together. They run all their training groups together. And clearly that's working. And I was talking to Keisha, and she was like, same thing. She was like, I don't really like jump much on other people's calls and stuff. She's like, because all of us do our own calls, and like she's like, and I never really group with other people to do challenge groups or like training groups like some of the leaders do. She's like, because I do it with my team and we just all do it together. So I think that that's good because I mean we all want this team to grow, and I think that 2018 really could be the year that like our team freaking like blows up, but we have to get some systems in order, and we have to actually stick to a consistent plan. All right, I'm done. Love you.
Hey, see
Love
ya.
you back. Good night, guys.